The question pounded in every ARMY's heart: what really happened to Jimin's unstoppable tears, and how did HYBE try to cover it up? Don't miss, comment, like, and subscribe to explore this emotional story. An eerie silence enveloped the entire social media since yesterday afternoon when news of Jimin crying broke to the surface. Not just an ordinary sob, but a cry that contains thousands of questions, uncertainties, and suspicions. It all started with a decision by Jungkook, a decision that was so shocking that it inflicted a deep wound on Jimin. And in the midst of that emotional turmoil, HYBE, as a management that has been considered embracing BTS with open arms, is allegedly persistent in covering up all the details that are actually supposed to be known to the public. Imagine a situation where a soul friend decides something that is not only against the expectations of the fans, but also against the beliefs that have been upheld by each member. A decision that made Jimin, with a personality so far known for being gentle and affectionate, able to contain his anger, finally shedding tears in public. However, what exactly did Jungkook do to trigger such a strong reaction? Why was HYBE so panicked that her cover-up efforts became a hot topic of discussion among the ARMY and the entertainment media on a seemingly ordinary night? Surveillance cameras inside BTS's rehearsal building captured a moment that later became the starting point for this controversy. The footage shows Jungkook entering the editing room with a grim face, holding a light blue file, the same file that hours later became a source of heated debate. There was no official confirmation of the contents of the file, but rumors say that it contained a secret agreement between Jungkook and external parties outside of BTS and HYBE's family circles. Is the deal related to the endorsement contract? Does it contain certain clauses that harm Jimin? All is still a mystery. A few hours later, an unexpected post appeared on the Weverse platform. Jungkook's official account published a short statement that read, "I have done what is best for our future." Without a detailed explanation, this sentence immediately sets off a wave of questions. What does HYBE mean here? Is he speaking on behalf of BTS, ARMY, or himself? More critically, why is it that the statement is just one short sentence with no guarantee of future clarification? Shortly after the upload, Weverse cameras captured Jimin sitting in the living room of their headquarters, his face red, eyes glazed over. He then rushed into the room, closed the door, and sobbed. This short clip of Jimin's crying then went viral on the internet, going viral in a matter of minutes, sparking a very mixed reaction among fans. The question arises, what has Jungkook done to incise such a deep wound in Jimin's heart? And why did HYBE seem to move quickly to lower the upload that recorded Jimin's crying? So many ARMY suspected there was an attempt to muffle the noise. The first issue that circulated was the allegation that Jungkook secretly signed a solo contract that was guaranteed to undermine BTS's image as a group, united forever. The contract reportedly includes an exclusivity clause that prohibits Jimin or any other member from collaborating with the same label for a certain period of time. This, if true, means Jimin comes face to face with a situation where he has to postpone a collaboration project that he was so eagerly awaiting with Jungkook. Feeling betrayed? The pain of career priorities that seem to forget the sense of brotherhood? All jumbled together. On the other hand, HYBE released a very limited official statement. They stated that any form of rumors regarding a split within BTS were not true, and asked the ARMY to wait for further official developments. But this statement raises deeper doubts. Why didn't they immediately release clarifying details about the rumored contract? Why did they choose silence when the issue has already expanded to the extreme point? Several internal sources, who declined to be named, let's call them A, B, and C, testified that management saw potential repercussions if the details were made public. Does the adverse impact mean the risk of BTS's global popularity declining? Or is it related to HYBE's concern over the value of their shares, which are increasingly sensitive to issues surrounding the members' solo contracts? However, the ARMY did not stop there. As rumors of a contract emerged, other speculations began to creep in. Some said Jungkook was rumored to be joining a Hollywood film project, which made Jimin feel ignored because the film did not include Jimin as a co-star. There are also speculations that Jungkook will be working with world-class fashion designers, sparking envy among fellow members who haven't gotten such an opportunity. Increasingly, the narrative surrounding Jungkook drunk on ambition is circulating on social media, while Jimin is claimed to feel sold by his own close friends. The uproar intensified when a short video circulated showing Jungkook entering a hidden meeting room on the ground floor of the HYBE building. In it, he is seen discussing with a foreign man, whom many identify as a representative of a large American agency. During the meeting, Jungkook was seen signing a pile of documents, looking serious, without giving the slightest room for public clarification. The footage was later uploaded by an anonymous account, adding to evidence that Jungkook was preparing something beyond the fans' imagination. Meanwhile, Jimin refused to appear on one of the previously scheduled online talk shows. Team Jimin's official statement stated that he was recovering mentally, but rumors circulated among insiders said that Jimin did not want to perform because he felt hurt and betrayed by Jungkook. Here comes the key point of this conflict. It is not solely about the contract, but a confrontation of values. Is the individual's career more important than the sense of community that has been built up over the years in the Korean entertainment world? Friendship between group members has always been a major selling point. BTS, as a group born out of a common struggle, has always insisted that, without every member, what does it mean to be BTS? So, when allegations emerged that one member had unilaterally taken a step that could break the group's solidity, ARMY split into two camps. One camp that supported Jungkook and thought he was only taking steps for career growth, while the other camp felt Jungkook had betrayed the spirit of family and loyalty that had been upheld. Amid the wave of condemnation, there were also voices that questioned the credibility of this news. Is all this just a momentary drama deliberately blown to boost Jungkook's Instagram popularity ahead of the release of his solo single? Or is it precisely HYBE's ingenious attempt to create buzz ahead of their big comeback announcement? A number of entertainment media pundits argue the latter possibility is particularly strong, because nothing is more effective at drawing public attention than the group's internal rumor that it claims to resonate all the way to American soil. However, if this is really a marketing plan, why is the most fragile side, namely Jimin's emotional, the main victim? This is where the controversy lies, between the manipulation of the media and the humanity of an idol. Not stopping there, surprising news came from Jimin's closest environment. A source often referred to as D in BTS management circles stated that Jimin was escorted by special staff to a mental clinic in the middle of the night, after clips of his crying spread uncontrollably. This sparked greater concern. Was Jimin really ignored, even forced to keep performing despite his shaky mental state? On the other hand, HYBE was repeatedly reported to keep the confidentiality of the members' mental handling process in order to keep the group's image from being branded fragile. This assumption caused heated debate. Is putting the company's image first more important than the mental safety of an artist who has been willing to give everything for fans? Meanwhile, Jungkook himself shared a short video on his personal account that showed him practicing dancing vigorously. There is no direct reference to the issue of Jimin's crying or the secret contract. It is as if he is trying to show that everything is still going normally. However, this silence only makes the issue bigger. The question, is Jungkook covering up his guilt, and is he too proud to admit a mistake? Spread like wildfire. Many soldiers were disappointed by this indirect attitude, feeling that Jungkook did not appreciate Jimin's clearly hurt feelings. Amid the controversy that seems to have not subsided, HYBE has finally released a second official statement. This time they stated that all of BTS internal decisions are made through deep thought between management and the members. If there is a problem that is not yet known to the public, it will be explained in the near future. This statement was later criticized as nonsense by many, because not a single new detail was revealed. Does this mean that HYBE is indeed preparing something that is not in accordance with the ARMY's expectations? Do they deliberately choose to be silent and wait for the storm to subside, rather than face immediate condemnation? Testimony from another source, let's call it E, revealed that HYBE had rejected an offer to present Jimin and Jungkook in an open live streaming session, which was expected to be a venue for clarification of the two friends. The plan was rumored to have been scheduled, but was suddenly canceled 2 hours before schedule. The reason, according to E, is that the management is worried that the atmosphere will turn out to be not conducive if Jimin is present in an emotional state. This raises a serious question. Is HYBE more concerned about the stability of the company's image than the artist's own mental health? And does the cancellation of this open session actually heighten the suspicion that there really is something to cover up? Furthermore, a handful of entertainment reporters claimed to have evidence that Jungkook had actually made his personal statement, handwritten and handed over to HYBE before this conflict erupted. The manuscript is said to contain a specific request from Jungkook to limit Jimin's collaboration rights for an entire year, as well as an additional request that if Jimin wants to release solo material, it must go through Jungkook's written consent. If true, this would be a provocative move that violates Jimin's artistic freedom, someone who has been known to have exceptional vocal and dance talent and has repeatedly demonstrated his creative initiative. This news, of course, invited a new wave of indignation. How can a member be so selfish as to tie up the freedom of his own dominant colleague? The attitude of J-Hope, RM, V, and Suga is also in the spotlight. Each of them is said to have tried to calm the situation behind the stage. Suga is said to call Jimin to his personal recording studio and guide him to channel his emotions through music. On the other hand, J-Hope is claimed to have tried to contact Jungkook repeatedly to ask for immediate clarification, but was ignored. Meanwhile, V, who has been known to be the quietest, reportedly got angry and had an all-out discussion with Jungkook, but there were no recordings or witnesses who clearly explained what the discussion was about. RM, as the leader, released a short message on Weverse, asking the army to refrain from spreading unverified news, but the tweet was deleted minutes later. Why is that? Does RM feel forced to issue a statement, even though he does not have enough details to explain? On the side of international fans, the debate was very fierce. Some of the army voiced their distrust of what they called HYBE's overly innocent narrative. They accused the company of shaping public opinion with a gust of wind in certain media, leading the issue to appear as if Jimin is too sensitive. To make matters worse, rumors circulated about a mysterious tweet written by someone claiming to be a HYBE staffer. The tweet contained tweets such as, "Don't be surprised if you only see ivory on the surface, the bottom of which we have coated with fake gold." Although the account was not verified, the sensation caused was huge, making the army wonder, is all they have seen so far just a fake version of the BTS story presented by HYBE? Are there any deliberately hidden facts? Not only the army, a number of K-pop celebrities also commented. Some of them subtly quipped on social media, stating that unity within an idol group should outweigh individual interests, without naming names directly. However, the style of language used is quite pointed towards the case of Jimin and Jungkook, making many people believe that seniors in the industry are starting to worry about the impact of this conflict on the image of the K-pop world as a whole. There was also support from a number of celebrity psychologists who reminded the public of the importance of mental health for idols caught in high pressure. They emphasized that events like this can be a momentum to drive change in artist management, from simply caring about popularity to also caring about the emotional well-being of group members. Behind the uproar of this news comes one of the most heartbreaking moments, a short recording in which Jimin looks in the mirror, trying to cover his cheeks wet with tears. His voice trembled as he whispered, "You know, this shouldn't have happened. We promised to always stand together." The short sentence seems to reflect Jimin's deepest pain, not only because of Jungkook's decision, but also because of the management's failure to maintain the integrity of their bond as a group. For ARMY, this moment became a symbol that no matter what happens, their friendship is threatened with collapse. Many even gathered outside HYBE's headquarters, lighting candles and singing Spring Day, a song that has long been considered a symbol of friendship and longing between members and fans. This scene adds a dramatic impression, as if the whole world also felt the grief that Jimin was carrying. That a few days after this incident exploded, news spread that HYBE would hold a grand press conference. An official invitation sent to the media indicated that they would present facts regarding Jungkook's decision and clarification directly from Jimin. However, on the eve of